Hi, welcome back. My name is Michelle and you're watching Michelle's Life, and I have a special guest star today, Beth Revis.
Hi.
I was fortunate enough to tweet her and set up an interview, so we are here today and I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for having me.
A big YouTuber, Jesse the Reader, had an interview with Rainbow Rel, and I really liked his format where he took book titles and formed his questions from that.
Oh, cool.
So I'll be using your book titles to form questions.
Okay.
So the first question is across the universe. If you could meet any author from any time period, who would you want to meet?
Well, I do have to say, I met one of my author heroes. I got to meet J.K. Rowling.
Oh, wow.
And it was really awesome. It was when The Casual Vacancy came out, and she was doing the thing at the Lincoln Center, and I was lucky enough to get tickets, like, by the skin of my teeth. And thanks to my friends at Typable.com, they got me tickets, and it was amazing. The whole time, I was with a friend of mine, Victoria Schwab, and so here's the gross thing that I probably shouldn't put on camera. When I get super excited, I throw up.
Oh, okay.
Just for fun, I guess. I don't know. My body's like, oh, you're happy, throw up now. So I had Victoria on like throw up duty. And I was like, if you see me kind of go like that, pull me away from JK. Don't let her see it. So like the whole time, like and I was only in front of her for like 2 minutes, but the whole time when I had that book and it's like shaking, and like Victoria was in the background, like ready to like throw me away in case I was like gonna go. So meeting JK was awesome. And then after that, I would pick C.S. Lewis, who wrote the Chronicles of Narnia. Those were my favorite books as children. I was only one child. As a child, those were my favorite books. And so yeah, I would love to meet him.
Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah.
Cool answers. Yeah, I was just posting about meeting you and how nervous I get. That when I get nervous, I have to poop. So I understand.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too. Either way, my body's like evacuate, which is so pleasant. And, thank you, subscribers. Listen to my body functions.
All right, number 2 is A Million Suns. What is one of your all-time favorite science fiction books?
My all-time favorite sci-fi book would probably be Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It is just a hilarious book, and because of him, I hide the number 42 in a lot of my books. So like in Across the Universe, Amy's frozen in cryo chamber number 42, specifically because of Douglas Adams.
That's so cool. A little clue for you guys.
Yes.
Alright, number 3 is Shades of Earth. I've read a couple of your interviews online and stuff in preparation for this, and I saw that someone asked about traveling, and I saw that you and your mother usually travel a lot, and I just wanted to know what was one of your favorite places that you visited.
Ooh, yeah, my mom and I are in a competition, and I'm beating her on countries, but she's beating me on states, and she's going to Hawaii in like a month. I'm like, thanks, Mom. I think my favorite place to visit would be, like, if I was just going like for myself to have fun, it would be either New York or London. Like there's always something happening in New York or London.
Any time of the day.
Any time of the day. Like you can always do or see something. But then I also really love Malta, and that's why I set the body electric there, just because that country is so beautiful, but it's also a mix of history and modern, and a mix of different cultures, because it's right in the middle of the Mediterranean. So you have influences from Africa, from Europe, from the Middle East, and it's just this, I mean, it's a true melting pot. Like America's a melting pot too, but Malta just has everything from the ground up. Is just this beautiful mix of the whole world.
Alright, number 4 is The Body Electric. What do you see for your writing career, like here on out? Do you think that you'll do more science fiction, or I know that you have the new contemporary coming out. Where do you think you're?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I used to, when I before I was published, I had 10 unpublished novels. All 10 of those novels were fantasy. And so I always saw myself as a fantasy author. And then I had the sci-fi idea, and that was Across the Universe. And suddenly I became this sci-fi author, and that's all most people knew me for, was this sci-fi. And I was like, but I have this decade of fantasy that nobody knows about. So I always thought of myself as fantasy, but I was writing sci-fi. And then when I was in the sci-fi, I loved it so much. I was like, yeah, this is great. I can totally do a career of this. And then I wrote a contemporary novel, and I didn't intend to at all. A World Without You is contemporary, but it's really weird. Like the character believes he has superpowers and that he can travel through time, so there's still some sci-fi elements to it. And the original draft was much more sci-fi, and then the contemporariness of it happened through edits. So I mean, I used to say, like, the one thing I'll never write is contemporary, and then I wrote a contemporary.
Yeah.
And now I'm working on a fantasy, but I don't know if that's really going to be, it's still so early, I don't know if that's going to be the next thing. And I've always said, oh, I'll only write YA, but I have an adult idea, so I just don't know.
I think that's one of the greatest things about writing is that usually it takes over you. Like, you don't have control, it just builds on its own.
Yeah, and then the story just becomes whatever the story is. The genre, I do the story first and the genre second.
That's a good way to do it. Number 5 is A World Without You. Who is the biggest supporter? Who gets you to keep going even when you want to quit? And what book influenced you the most to become a writer?
The person who influences, the person is my husband. Like, he has never said if you're published or if this book deal happens. He's always said when. And he has just never used the word if. It has always been a matter of inevitability that whatever I'm trying to do, it will happen. And it never even occurred to him to doubt that it would happen. And that sort of faith is just, it's a rock solid faith that gives me the confidence to actually try new things. So definitely my husband. Happy answer. And what was the second part of the question?
And then who influenced you the most to become a writer?
I would say that it's a little bit of a mix. Part of that would be C.S. Lewis, because I really remember reading his books as a kid and realizing that there was more to that story than just a line of witch in a wardrobe, that there was another layer of meaning. And that was really influential to me, like just this discovery that the story could be more. And then also in terms of style, possibly Robin McKinley. I love the way that she uses white space and her pacing and prose is beautiful, but then the story itself is exciting, and you don't always get that blend of beautiful writing and exciting story. So those two.
These are questions that are not book title related.
Okay.
As a mom, how do you feel? How do you find time to write, and how do you have the energy to push forward and write at the end of the day or beginning of the day?
I mean, it's really not been that much different. I cut out some television. And I mean, obviously having a kid will change your life. My son is now 11 months old. But I mean, it helps that I have a husband who's really supportive, and it's never been like, our household is not the child is the woman's duty and the man is doing other work that's important. Our household is, Beth makes more money, so she has a job, and the husband has to help with the kid because it's his kid too. So it's always a very even divide of labor, and we make sure that we don't we don't turn our child into a burden. He's a part of the family, and we just do our work.
Awesome. I'm just always so tired at the end of the day, and I'm like, do I want to read, watch TV, or start writing?
We have cut out a lot of television. Like, our son basically took away a lot of our free lazy time. Yeah. And so like, we didn't let it sacrifice the work time, but it took away a lot of the free lazy time. So yeah, we're gonna cancel our television soon just because we watch maybe a half hour a day.
Next question is, the future collection is so different and interesting. Do you think that you'll come out with an actual printed up bind up of that collection?
Well, the plan is to write the future collection and then also have a specific to Across the Universe collection of sci-fi stories and then combine them. That's the ultimate plan, and it's just dependent on if I get enough time to write the next bit. Because right now it's so small that I feel I would hate to charge people money for something that is that small. It's like half the size of what a book should be. So I'd like to write another half and make it.
I think overall those were my favorite because they were just like the perfect level of creepy but interesting and just amazing.
I love those stories. I feel like everyone forgets about them. I really like them.
Yeah, they were really good. I really like them.
Thank you.
Another question about that series is, how did you come up with some of the stories for the future collection? I feel like as a reader, I felt like you were just sitting there one day like, that would be really weird. Let's go with that. You know,
that's pretty accurate. Yeah. The Turing test, I very distinctly recall the idea of the Turing test was, I was in a subway with my husband and we were talking about the computers, and he just very casually mentioned like, oh yeah, you know, like in the Turing test. I was like, I had no idea what it was. And that one, like his casual mention of it, like I started looking on Wikipedia and discovered Alan Turing. Like I knew of Alan Turing, but not the full extent of his work. And that just led to all these questions of how I could twist it and make it weird. So that's where that one came from. The first story, Doctor-Patient Confidentiality, came from watching an episode of Doctor Who. It was one of the Christmas specials where a girl is basically cryogenically frozen and a boy is constantly waking her up, and he's growing up.
Okay.
And she obviously is in stasis because she was ill, and so you constantly see him growing up, and he becomes the man that she falls in love with over the years. And I liked that story, but then I wanted to make it really sad and tragic, so I sort of twisted it the other way where I don't want to ruin the story, but,
yeah.
But I twisted it the other way. So it was just watching Doctor Who and thinking, how can I make this worse?
Yeah.
And then the time travel story was the same way. I was watching The Time Traveler's Wife, and in that story, the time traveler constantly meets a girl who becomes like his wife and his lover. But when he shows up, he shows up without clothes and he's naked, and he's very good to the girl that he meets. And I was like, what if it was a really bad person who had the ability to travel through time? And it sort of twisted from there. So I take beautiful things and I make them horrible and twisted.
But they're fantastic.
Thank you.
The last one is, I sadly did not finish Paper Hearts yet, but I did start it, and I read the part where you obviously have written many stories, and you wrote so many stories before you finally published Across the Universe, and I can't believe that the publishers were like, we won't take this at this time. What is like one thing you would tell young aspiring authors?
I would tell the ones who are very young, like high school age, go out and live your life and do the things that scare you and meet the people and talk to the people who you don't know, and just try to experience as much as possible, because everyone thinks of writing as this solitary act of like, sitting down and actually physically writing, and that's that's 10% of it. The other 90% is gathering all these experiences so that you have stories to tell. So the first step out is definitely just experience beyond your comfort zone as much as possible. And then beyond that, like it's so cliche, but don't give up. I mean, I hate to say cliche the answer, but I have to say, like, don't give up. And then let me say something that's not a cliche. Don't believe that there's only one way to write, that whatever way gets the words on the paper for you is the right way. And anyone who says there's only one way to write is lying to you or trying to sell you something. So don't believe them and like, kick them in and do it your own way, because all that matters is you write the story you want to write. And any writing advice book, whether it's Paper Hearts or anything else, the only thing I'm trying to do with that book is to help you write the story you want to write. Because our first drafts are never really what we want to write. They're just the initial idea.
Very cool. Alright, that's all the questions I have.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being on my channel and meeting with me. Super awesome. So that's all for this interview. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
And that's a neat little gadget. What is it? Just a little, like
It's a video camera.
how is it?
Yeah.
That's tiny. I haven't seen one that tiny.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Neat idea too.
You need an outtakes now.
I can edit. I can crop and drop. It's okay.
Yeah, that was kind of adorable.
Put blooper reel in.